I think there's two ways a CBDC would come out. One would be a parallel way where they will incentivize you to take it peacefully, kind of like they did in China. Maybe they'll pay you a much higher rate of interest. Maybe they will incentivize you with, you know, putting money into your account. I don't know. But they were incentivizing the Chinese to take it. However, it is maybe, I don't know how they would do it. The other way is everything blows apart. Um, and markets collapse. I had someone in an interview I did last night in the live stream say, "Do you think Operation Sandman will happen the day of the inauguration?" I don't know where he's getting that information. But if Operation Sandman really did happen, where 120 countries or so have supposedly already agreed to dump the dollar in the treasury market all at once, something I've talked about with you forever, not in the vein of Operation Sandman, but in the vein of the stupidity that we have shown the world in the way that we've managed our affairs, um, it would blow everything up in a matter of moments as interest rates spike to the moon. Everything associated in this country with wealth is gone. Stocks, bonds, real estate, the banks, the insurance companies, everything would reset. And then they come in on a white horse and say, hey, if you don't want to starve, take the CBDC and we'll make you whole. So I think there are two ways they can roll it out. One is by incentive, in an orderly fashion, and the other would be more chaotic, where you more or less have to take it in order to conduct business as everything collapses. So I'm not saying that that's on the agenda. I'm just simply saying I don't think they roll out the CBDC just, hey, whoever wants to take it, go ahead and take it, unless it's done in that manner, the way they did it in China, on a complementary basis to the regular yuan, to the regular currency, and not just this is your only choice. I don't know how you resist it. The question could also be, do you take it for business? How would you not? Would you just say we're not taking any digital currency for business? I don't know. These are all very challenging questions, and they make for good thought experiments over a bottle of wine. But in my mind's eye, I have always seen the CBDC being released after an event. And that event would be seen as something that leveled the playing field for us all. And, take the CBDC, it's the solution to the problem. Now, I did an interview with a few people, in particular Simon Hunt, who believes that this is all being done intentionally, that Trump is here to usher in a digital surveillance state where everything is tokenized, everything. I said, wait a minute, you mean he's got people above him pulling the strings? Absolutely, he says. Absolutely. That those are names and faces we will never see, but it is to usher in the tokenization of everything. And it will start with the digital ID that will be sold under the guise of election integrity. I'm doing an interview with Nomi Prince a week from today, and Nomi did a documentary, I guess you could call it, and it was unbelievable, on the digital ID and the patents that Bill Gates has had for over a year or two on the digital ID as it relates to your bank account information and your health information. And it was frightening as hell. And the point of it is that he believes, Simon does, that indeed we are moving towards a digital era where everything is tokenized. And, the gentleman that was killed in Manhattan, you saw how they tracked the killer for blocks using cameras. Well, imagine if it's facial recognition. You're in the system. Everywhere you go, everything you do, everything you buy will all be tokenized, will all be on the ledger, will all be surveilled. And whether it be for, financial reasons, how to market things to you, sell that information, or just the fact that your every move and your every purchase and everything you do is tracked. It's Orwellian, it's dystopian, it's Black Mirror. But that's what they're saying we are heading towards. And indeed, he believes we are heading towards an era of central bank digital currencies. There are states that are trying to resist it. I get it. There are states that are saying we won't take it, or that we'll use sound money, gold and silver. All I can tell you is that there are people who believe that this is all being done intentionally to roll this kind of stuff out. And if you think about it for a minute and you just distance yourself from what we want. I mean, what better guy? First of all, they would come in. There are two ways they could do it. He would come in and they would use Doge and they would slash everything and they would investigate everything, bring back integrity. I mean, I've done 2 interviews with Kash Patel. This dude's for real. He looks right through your soul, and he's genius level, Mensa level smart. And what a great way to bring back integrity to the FBI and bring back integrity to the election, take the digital ID. So that will never happen again, and bring back all of the unity that's been lost, the divisiveness, and his cabinet might have a better chance of doing that because of the way that they're looked at, not just President Trump. And they come back and say, they're going to have to rip off the Band-Aid fast. The midterms are in 2 years. And they say, hey, we've discovered that this is a whole hell of a lot worse than we thought. And here's what we're going to need to do to bring back our manufacturing, to bring back our credibility, to do all of these things to get us back where we once were. We're all going to have to bear the pain. And you head into a depression. And everything ultimately resets to a new system. Or it happens much worse, where he says to the world, we're going to sanction every one of you if you don't do this. And we continue to see deficit spending. Even if they cut $2 trillion off the deficit, that's still $1 trillion plus in deficit accrual. You're at 41 trillion when he leaves in 4 years. He comes in at 36. The Congressional Budget Office says by the time he leaves, 100% of tax revenue goes to pay just the interest on the debt and mandatory entitlement, which isn't even on the budget or the balance sheet, Social Security and Medicare, and everything else is discretional, needs to be borrowed. You cannot be the world superpower there. And maybe the continuing threatening and sanctioning and bullying and all of the stupidity, if he doesn't stop that, maybe you do see an Operation Sandman that is being intentionally precipitated. Now, I hate to say that. I do believe he's the best person for this country on many levels, but he's also the person who's an expert in restructuring and bankruptcy. Could it be possible? Maybe, I don't know. In other words, is he the Trojan horse, or is he riding on the Trojan horse? Is he a good guy, or is he part of the deep state? And I say this to you only because I try to think of both sides. And I know that will anger people. I voted for Trump. I am thrilled that he's here. He may get our country back, but it doesn't get us out of the way of the debt. It doesn't get us out of the way of the problems we have financially. We have to cross that bridge. And is it peaceful and united, or is it chaotic and crazy? Either way, we are going to see things change dramatically over the next several years. Don't know how it plays out, but I think people need to think of if you haven't learned to think outside the box after the last 4 years and question everything, even the people we believe are here for our best interests, then you haven't learned anything over the last 4 years in my mind. And again, I am not speaking negatively about him. I am thrilled. I thank God he was elected. But we have to think, what if? Just what if? Why has he never spoken out about monetary policy? Why has he not spoken out about the debt? Why is he being very quiet? And to the same, by the same token, it's strange when you look at Powell. I think Powell's on Trump's side. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Why, if Powell wanted to get Harris reelected, he would have lowered rates in March or in April or in May, not in September. That guaranteed that she wouldn't win by keeping rates higher. This is all very confusing. It will all play out, but the bottom line is there is no way to the other side without a reset. There just isn't. And what does that reset look like? And what does the currency look like? Not quite sure, but I do know it's coming in one way or another. Everything we were told over the last 4 years has been a lie. Everything. I think you have to question everything moving forward if it's coming from the government, regardless on how wonderful they appear to be. A limited mintage gold coin from the UK, again, sold at a fair price. When you're buying limited mintage items and paying a stupid price, it doesn't make sense. And they're very cool coins. They are limited. A gold coin is a gold coin. This will be on par with just about anything, but it is a limited mintage. So for that reason, we decided to get a bunch of them, and we like them. So if you're, for me, my favorite choice are American-made coins. They truly are, but you're going to pay 20, 25 bucks an ounce or more higher than that. So if you want to get a better deal, something from a establishment, This is a good choice. Yeah, I love the 110. If I had my choice, look, whether you're playing poker or driving on a crowded highway, you can never have too many exits or outs. Same thing is true with investing. If I had my choice, I would own all 1/10 ounce coins, but the premiums are much higher. They're not dealer imposed premiums, they are mint imposed premiums for people looking for ways to barter. My favorite choice are the 10th ounce Eagles, but these are good too. I don't mean to denigrate our specials. I'm just being honest. I prefer the American made coins, but these are from the United Kingdom and they're every bit as pure and good